Hey, Crazy Gamer fans, what's going on? Another hurricane preparedness with a power bank. This time we've got the RavPower RP-PB33. This power bank is a 3,350 milliamp hour power bank, so they claim. We've tested it. I just want to go over my testing procedures. I get these power banks, I drain them until they shut themselves down in over discharge protection. Then I charge them up through this power meter. It puts a charge in there. I record how much charge it took, and then I fully discharge through one of these meters again with an electronic load at its recommended discharge rate. So this one is its discharge is 5 volts at 1 amp, so I discharged it at 5 volts 1 amps. And that's where I come up with my numbers. I do that 3 times. I charge it, discharge it 3 times after the first initial discharge and charge. And that's how I come up with these averages to tell you how these power banks works. I get sent these, and honest opinion here, I test these. I just don't look at it, say, hey, it's great. Here's what you can do with it. I test them. I want to see how good these are, and I want an honest review that's really going to help people. So now let's take a look. This is the RavPower. This is a small little guy. We got some paperwork in here. Hello. And then are we happy? And we have a problem. We'll get to that in a little bit. So let's see what's in this box. We got another hello. It looks like we got a charging lead that looks good quality. And when I charge these up and I discharge these, well, not when I discharge, but when I charge these up, I use the power lead they come with. I just put the little rubber band back on there. So we got a micro USB to charge it. And then here's the unit itself. This unit weighs 2.8 ounces or 2.6 ounces or 74 grams. And you can see the output on there. It says it's got 12 watt hours, 12.4 watt hours, 3,350 milliamps, inputs DC 5 volts 1 amps, output 5 volts 1 amps. At least that's what it claims. So there it is. Let's compare this. Here is a highlighter. So you can see it's almost the diameter of a highlighter. It's not very long. So it's nice. It's lightweight, super lightweight. It's probably why it doesn't have the capacity that it claims. So let's put that right there, and it rolls. So we got, when it arrived, it had all 3 lights lit up on it, and it had, on a 5 volt discharge at 1 amps, it had 1,715 milliamp hours. And that's at 5 volts. That's not at the 3.7 volts that the 3,350 milliamp hours that they claim is at 3.7 volts. This was at 5 volts. I discharged this, and I got 1,715 milliamp hours. And I cranked up the amperage, and the voltage drops out on this at about 1.3 amps. So you can do a 1 amp load on it, which I have done, a 1 amp load at 5 volts, and the average of that was 2,053 milliamp hours at 5 volts. So that's decent. I think that's a good range, because you're not going to get the 3,350 out of these at 5 volts, because there's got to be a voltage conversion from the 3.7. So anywhere in the 2,000, above 2,000, that's pretty good for this, for the weight of this. And if you look at per ounce, how much this weighs, it weighs the 2.6 ounces. So it's basically 789 milliamps charged to a phone or another 5 volt device per ounce. So, a little under 800 milliamp hours per ounce of weight. And that's 28 milliamp hours per gram if you want to go by grams, because it's 74 grams. So charging it, on the first charge, it charged to 2,961 milliamps. So that was the very first charge after I discharged it and it shut down. And then discharging it and recharging it, discharging and recharging it the full 3 times. I got an average of 2,980 milliamp hours of charging. So what does that mean? Where is the note? Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. A rating, I give a rating out of 5. This gets a 3.5 out of 5, so 3.5 stars basically. It's a good little power bar. If you got an iPhone, an older iPhone, or even some of the newer phones, you're gonna get a charge out of it, maybe 1.5 charges. You're gonna get maybe a half a charge, and an older, smaller iPad, maybe the Android tablet type devices. I don't test these on phones or charging iPads or things like this. I test them under loads, so it's a steady draw of the amperage, and I also check to see what it can put out, because they bridge the resistors on the data pins in a way to so it can communicate with phones and stuff on how much it can draw. In some phones, they just keep drawing until the voltage drops off, and then they back off what they draw. So it varies on your device on how this is going to charge, but I basically test these at their recommended settings. So when I charge it, I try to charge it at 5 volts, 1 amp. At a steady current, it only charges at 800 milliamps. In about 6 hours, it charges to that. But about every hour it drops off 100 milliamps of charge. So the last 2 hours it trickle charges about 200 milliamps. So it is about 6 hours to fully charge this, and that's with the recommended RavPower. I use this RavPower charger that is recommended for charging these. I use their QC iSmart port that they recommend in the instructions to use these RavPower chargers to get the best use out of these. I don't see it in this one, it's in another one I'm reviewing. But basically that's how I charge these. If I have an Anchor device, I charge it with an Anchor charger, because I want to make sure they meet up to the specifications that they state. So, this is a recommended for a small power bank that's very lightweight. You're not going to notice carrying this around. It's one of the lighter ones I reviewed. If you remember, I reviewed this Jackery. The Jackery is a little bit heavier. I believe the Jackery had the same amount of charge. The Jackery is a metal case, though. This one's a metal case. This one, it feels metal, but it could be plastic. I know this top part is plastic, but the actual case could be metal. But I tested, it has all the protections. It has overcharge, over discharge. It's good. I even hooked it up to the bench power supply to see if I could try to overcharge it, and it won't let you. It shuts it down. It doesn't even allow a trickle charge through. So that is this RavPower. The model number on this is RP-PB33. They have them on Amazon. I'm assuming they might sell them in stores. Prices vary depending on where you get it, but it's not very expensive. Less than $20. Easily less than $20, maybe even less than $15. So that's it for this review of this power bank. For Crazy Gamer Games, I'm the Crazy Gamer. You all have a great day, and stay tuned for more power bank reviews.